So today we've got a long list of topics to cover. But since there's a mismatch with the classes that we've had. I just want you guys to tell me which is the last topic that you have done in marketing. I don't know if I have taken all the classes because there has been some mix match. So what is the last unit or last topic that you guys have covered in the marketing class? Anybody remembers by any chance? हाँ जी STP हुआ था बस मेरे साथ ही हुआ था क्या? हाँ तो अभी तो मैं पूछ रहा हूँ कि हम कौन से टॉपिक में वेयर आर वी एग्जैक्टली इन टर्म्स ऑफ द सीक्वेंस बिकॉज as far as I know, my sequence is going very badly. We are supposed to be doing product life cycle and branding also. मतलब वहाँ तक unit 5 तक अभी we haven't reached for a variety of reasons. So what we'll do today, since we don't have too much of time, what we'll do, we'll touch upon all the topics. There are about 7-8 important topics which are left after STP. So we'll touch a little bit upon all of them and I'll share my notes. Those of you who have my WhatsApp number, you can ask me. I will message the PDF files to you. So you can see the notes. So at least you can catch up with the stuff that is there. And as far as the preparation for the exam goes, please read your textbook once. I think that should be more than sufficient as far as the preparation part goes. Okay, so we'll start with the first topic, which is product life cycle. So I want you guys to be a little bit participative in the class so that we make it interesting and we go through the topic faster, otherwise it will become boring and there's no point in taking a boring class. So we are talking of product life cycle. Just one second. Yeah. Okay. So have you guys heard this term before? A product life cycle. Every product has a life, like a human being has a life. Every product has a life, and this is the way we look at it. So you can divide it into four stages. So this is the intro, growth, maturity, and decline. Now, sorry, my handwriting is very beautiful. Please accept it. Fans है ना? Okay, चलो let me try. नहीं चलने दो कोई बात नहीं. I'll try a little bit. I'll try a little bit. Okay. So चलो. So product life cycle is basically uh, an analysis of where the product is in its life. Now, why the product life cycle is important is because we want the product. So see, when I'm in the introduction stage or I'm in the decline stage, respective marketing efforts are needed for my product. So let's say I'm a company, like take for example, let's take a new company which is in the intro stage. Let's take a company called Zepto. You all heard of Zepto, Blinkit, that whole gang of 10-minute delivery groups. You've all heard of Zepto. You may have used it or not is a separate story. But when I'm Zepto and versus when I'm Colgate, both of them are products, service product combination. Both of them need to be sold. But the way Zepto needs to be sold to you as a customer is obviously going to be different the way Colgate has to be sold to you as a customer. Why? And that why is basically the product life cycle. So if I'm in the introduction stage of my life as a product, what is the most important thing that is needed for me? What is it? What does Zepto need in order to convince you guys to buy its product or service? Go to the ground floor. Go back. What is the foundation of what Zepto requires? How do you go and buy the service? The first thing is awareness. So for a company like Zepto, its primary marketing efforts are based around generating awareness, creating awareness, generating desire, and probably giving you a discount. Right? That's the way a normal. So when Uber came to India, I don't know if you guys were using it at that time or not. They were giving huge discounts. Whenever a new product is launched or a new company enters the market, they enter with a discount. Take Jio for example. When Jio came with its postpaid plans, it was 199. Last week they have increased the price to 299. Introductory offers are always there to give you a discount, give you the feeling, chalo, let me try the product. That is where the introduction part comes in, because the product is still, think of it like an infant. versus you guys as adults, you would be in the maturity stage. Debatable, of course, maturity wala part, but that's where the physical part comes in. जोक था, हंसना था साथ में. ये मेरे को सिखाना पड़ेगा. यहाँ पे वो पीछे प्लेकार्ड लेके खड़ा होगा, जोक, लाफ. गाइस थोड़ा सा उठ जाओ. आई नो संडे मॉर्निंग है, मैं आई एम मोर टायर्ड देन यू, बट इसका ये मतलब नहीं कि आप लोग सो जाओ क्लास में, राइट? ओके, so in that sense, if you look at an infant, for an infant to grow and become an adult, he or she needs a lot of support. The same thing happens at the introduction stage. The product needs a lot of support in terms of marketing efforts to get customers to buy the product, to get what is called momentum. अगर momentum नहीं होगा, because in today's world many businesses run on a word to mouth story. You have used it, you will tell two friends of yours, they will use it, they will tell a couple of friends down the road, and that's how the momentum happens. So if things go wrong in my introduction stage, I have product issues, I have quality issues, I have perception issues, I am not going to go to the growth and maturity stage. My product will die somewhere here. So when we are looking at the marketing effort, look at where the product is in the stage of its life, and then you market accordingly. Now take Colgate. Now when you've looked at Colgate ka advertisements, what do they say? Do they say brush your teeth? Do they say you should brush your teeth with a toothpaste? Do they ever say that? What all are they saying? They are a product which is in the mature stage. So all they have to do is, or take Coke and Pepsi for example. Why do you think they advertise so much? Why do you think they have to advertise so much? कहने को mature है, they are a stable brand. So in maturity, you would assume कि you don't need to advertise too much. But in maturity, your advertisements direction and focus changes. When I'm in the introduction stage, my focus is generating brand awareness. So Zepto की ads आप देखोगे funky होंगी. They'll be more innovative. They'll be more attractive as an advertisement. But when I come to Colgate, strong teeth, health, physical well-being, और अब वो क्या हो गया, इतने mature हो गए कि they cannot say again and again brush your teeth for strong teeth. Now what are they saying? What is the latest advertisement? Anybody seen that? So there's this lady who is an amputee and she's running a marathon. That's one of Colgate's ads. There's one ad एक के बीच में आया था इनका smile. Then there was one ad where you have Colgate and you have better health because your teeth are strong. You are able to chew your food better. Various stuff. Let's not get into whether they are appropriate or not. The question is that the focus changes. That's all that I want you guys to keep in mind as far as the product life cycle goes. Then you look at this one. So in this case, let's say we take the example of Zepto. In growth, let's take the example of D2C. Say for example, Nykaa. We've all heard of Nykaa as a brand, right? In maturity, let's take one example which is TVs, and decline, let's take landline phones. Now you see, can you see the difference in terms of the marketing needs and marketing efforts that are required when the product is at the different stage of its life? Now you take for example TVs. Now when you take LG and Samsung ka TVs, what are they advertising on? Are they advertising कि वो LCD TV है? Are they advertising that it has great picture quality? No. What are they advertising? It has OLED, it has QLED, it has all those whatever stuff they come up with. Why? Because it's a mature market. What is the, if I am a TV or you have a TV at home, when is it that you are going to buy a new TV? When is it that you are going to buy or purchase that product? When will that moment be? Most likely you are replacing. So you have a TV at home and you are convinced by the marketing messages that now it's time for an upgrade, or your old TV has decided, okay, I don't want to work anymore, then you are out to buy a new one. So in a maturity business, chances are that my business or new sales are going to come from existing customers who are upgrading. Same thing will happen with fridges as well because you are replacing. So उनकी जो marketing messages हैं, they are going to be different from say what Nykaa is giving or what Zepto is giving. But when I'm in a decline stage, when my business is about to die, all I'm doing is I am doing maximization. Let me extract as much revenue, as much profit I can get. So if I'm a maturity or a decline product, typically I will not be offering any discounts. But if I'm in the intro and growth stage, I may be offering discounts for me to acquire customers. So this is where the product life cycle part comes in. And in this, we also need to look at, okay, so there are these bunch of strategies which we honestly don't have the time to discuss, but I have the notes, I'll share them with you. There are a few examples there as well. Primarily, we're just seeing examples of companies in different parts of this life cycle and how they have used marketing to sell their business or to sell their products to the customer. Eventually, in decline, you are also probably making an exit. So, one example here could be, or Ford of India. The logic here is that as soon as you realize that your product or your market is declining, you can sell off your business and move out of that market. Otherwise, you will continue having losses. And one example here, a company which didn't exit, is the example of Kodak. Kodak kept hammering on the fact that they have film cameras at a time when everybody was moving to the digital space and they didn't see the writing on the wall. So, in marketing, you have to also realize when is it enough? No more. No more marketing support will work. My product is dead. It's better to cut my losses and invest that marketing effort and money somewhere else. Right? So there's again bunch of examples that are there in product life cycle. So just keep the part of the life cycle in mind. Okay, now comes the next part. Now I don't have a duster. Very good. Okay, it's going to get a cramped board. Okay, another thing which you keep seeing in marketing is this term, a brand. Now, what is a brand? I want you guys to tell me. मेरे पास तो है notes बहुत सारे बोलने को. I want you guys to tell me what do you mean by the term a brand? What is a brand? Anybody wants to try? So it's an identifier. Okay? One of the characteristics of a brand is that the brand name is that it's an identifier. What else? It is unique. Okay? And it also has to show the product. So but not always. Okay? So unique and identification, 2 points. What else is there in a brand? What else does a brand create in the mind of the customer? Trust से पहले let me use a word, recall. अब जैसे for example now you guys, now if you, even if you close your eyes and you hear the Nirma ka song, you will not mix it with Surf Excel. You will know it is Nirma only. So a brand or the way it is there recollecting in your mind is where the term brand comes. So brand is basically the identity of the product or the service, whatever you are trying to sell to the customer, the brand is the identity. Now, why do we need the brand? Why can't we just simply put up a shop and say, I have a toothpaste? End of story. Why can't I just simply say I have a toothpaste? Why do I have to call it Colgate Strong Teeth with added minerals or Colgate Strong Teeth with gum care? मेरे को इतना सारा कहने की क्या जरूरत है? One is differentiation. If there are 20 people selling the same white toothpaste, how do I know which shop to go and buy from? Where is the uniqueness? That's one point. What else do we need a brand for? There is recall, there is brand association, and that's the time when the word branding and marketing and advertising start to get together, right? So if we look at brands, let me see a couple of points for us to discuss. Okay, now let's come to the basics of brand. Okay, so I'm just jotting down the key points. I'm skipping some things because they are already there. Okay, so क्या हुआ? Okay, so let's come to the basics of brand. Let's look at how the brand identity gets created. So when I'm talking of a brand, we can divide the journey of the product into five parts. So let's take the example of a hotel room as the basic product which you are trying to brand. Okay. So the core product of a hotel room is what? A room, a bed, a door. That's your basic hotel room. That's your core, a place to sleep at night. That's your core product. Okay, very basic. Now, on that core product, what are the basic features that you would expect from a hotel room? It should have a good, decent bed. It should have an air conditioner. It should have a washroom. It should be reasonably clean. That's your basic product. What do you expect? You expect, depending on the price you are paying, you are expecting certain features. So if I go to a five-star hotel versus a two-star or a three-star Tribo or Oyo, obviously my expectations are going to be lower. But at each brand category, I have a different set of expectations. So if I go to, for example, Tribo, अब मुझे expected है, ठीक है, मुझे थोड़ी सी toiletries मिल जाएंगी branded. There'll be a customer care center to handle any queries. The room will be neat and clean. Those are my expectations. उनके ऊपर what is augmenting my hotel room? Something like, say, I have blackout drapes or blackout curtains. You go to a hotel room, it's quiet, it's nice, it's neat. There is no too much of noise, there is safety. That is your augmented product. And what is your potential product? You can sell perhaps pay-per-view or on-demand TV. You can have a rainfall shower. You can do lots of things to add on to that customer product. हाँ जी? Add-on services से ज़्यादा the keyword that we're looking for is potential to grow up the value chain. हमारा marketing में सबसे important काम है, we have to move the customer up the value chain from the basic product to paying extra for a similar service. I'll give you one example just to get this value chain part clear. Now, a Colgate है, toothpaste. Everybody uses it, I hope. Okay. The frequency of usage can be different, but typically speaking, thanks to advertising, we've all been told how many times should we brush in a day? Twice. Okay. So look at it from the mentality of Colgate. Now I know that my product is to be consumed by all of you. How do I gain more revenue from you guys? That is the logic of marketing. How do I gain revenue from you guys? So if I'm Colgate and you were brushing once a day, through advertising, I tell you to brush twice a day. क्या हो गया instantly? What has happened to my consumption? It has doubled, which means I'm buying double the toothpaste which I was already buying. ठीक है? Double हो गया एक. I was I was here. I moved up to here. Fine. But how do I go up? How does Colgate get you to buy more toothpaste? खत्म हो गया ना, 2 बारी ब्रश कर लिया और कितनी बारी ब्रश करोगे? ठीक है. एंड व्हाट आर द यूनिक uses of Colgate? How have you used Colgate apart from brushing teeth? I'm sure you all have used Colgate for other purposes as well. हाँ जी, टीथ हो गया. उसके अलावा आप कोलगेट को कहाँ कहाँ यूज करते हो? You can use it on burns. Where else can you use it? You can use it for cleaning white shoes, canvas shoes. What else? There are some people who swear by Colgate as a anti-pimple cream. ठीक है? Hostlers, you can use it to fill up holes in the wall. When you're about to hand over your room back to the PG owner, you can use it to fill up the holes in the wall which you have dug with pins and nails. But, but, can Colgate advertise a Colgate anti-burns cream while retaining the same brand value of the toothpaste? Right? So these uses which we are talking about, these are not official uses. So I reach a ceiling. अब मेरे पास एक ceiling हो गई है. How do I cross this? How do I move up the value chain? And how do I? This is my only thing in life. Have you heard this concept before? Wallet share. Marketing में wallet share is a very important concept. Have you heard this concept before? Wallet share. सुना है? क्या होता है? Anybody who's heard of it, maybe share your little bit louder, please, so others can hear. Perfect. So if I say that in a month I am going to spend 100 rupees on toothpaste, okay? Or let me rephrase, I call it 100 rupees on dental hygiene. Typically speaking, Colgate only sells toothpaste. So how does Colgate increase its brand presence in your mind? They start selling you a toothbrush. And they start selling you a combo pack which says that you buy one toothbrush and one toothpaste and you get a slight discount because you bought the combo pack. So they can sell you the toothpaste, they can sell you the toothbrush. और क्या कर सकते हैं dental hygiene में? You can have tongue cleaners. What else can you have? You can have a mouthwash. You can have floss. Again, यहाँ से उठ के मैं यहाँ तक आ गया. Still एक limit आ गई. How do I go more? How do I get you to spend more? Then I come up with Colgate Total, Colgate Visible White, Colgate Weight Shakti. हाँ जी? Colgate Max Fresh. Any of these variants which are piggybacking on my parent brand Colgate, sticking to toothpaste, but now they are more premium priced. So my consumption remains finite. दिन में 2 बारी ब्रश किया और उतना ही टूथपेस्ट यूज हुआ, but now I'm consuming a variant of that product which is more expensive. Therefore, my wallet share has gone up. That is all that we want. And why we are investing in branding is to ensure that when it comes to, say, for example, dental hygiene, the first name that comes into the customer's mind is Colgate. That is where the brand comes. Identity, recall, personality, सब उस brand के साथ है. So say for example, I don't know if you guys have heard of this. I'm sure you would. Have you heard of this brand called Hard Rock Cafe? हाँ ना. Hard Rock Cafe नहीं सुना? किन्होंने सुना है? What is the brand? So that's the identity. Or let's say any of these. So let's say we go to McDonald's. What is McDonald's identity? A family friendly fast food restaurant. ठीक है? So वहां पे आपको बच्चे चिल्लाते हुए भी मिलेंगे, हैप्पी मील भी मिलेगा, रोनाल्ड मैकडोनाल्ड के साथ बैठ के फोटो खिंचाने के लिए भी एक जगह मिलेगी. That's where it is expected. But when I go to Starbucks, what happens to my brand identity in Starbucks? It's posh, it's expensive, it's quiet, it's sophisticated, it's nice, it's clean, it is professional in approach, which is where Starbucks is not a place where kids will go. And Hard Rock Cafe was an example. I thought आप लोगों के उसमें होगा. It's basically a brand which is both into cafe lifestyle. They've got a hotel also. They sponsor music events also. Their target audience is you guys, 18 to 25s. You guys. So at a Hard Rock Cafe hotel, I am not going with my kids. Definitely not, because that's not the right brand identity. So every brand's identity creates for itself a particular box. The brand lives in that box. Okay, it can be a cheap box. I can be Parle G. I live at that 5 rupee, 10 rupee price point. I live there. That is my box. But if I am Apple, not the eating wala apple, the product wala apple. If I'm Apple, what is my box? I have to be expensive. I have to be posh. I have to offer unique features. I have to be exclusive. Now, you guys tell me, if Apple sells you an iPhone for 20,000 bucks, will you guys buy it? Assuming you have the cash, assuming you are able to convince your parents or you have a job of your own and you have spare cash, and you are in the market to buy a new phone, and Apple says, I'm going to give you an iPhone for 20 grand. Would you buy it? Why not? Why and why not? Both sides will work. अगर प्रीमियम प्रोडक्ट चीप में मिल रहा है तो, बट what is the other side of the story? If the moment I become a mass market player, why will somebody pay 1 lakh rupees for an iPhone? आज की डेट में there are iPhone models which are more expensive than the Tata Nano. 1.75 lakhs का फोन आता है, उतने में आराम से Nano आ जाएगी. Assuming if it was still in production, you could easily get a Nano for that price range. And there's a phone, and there are people who are willing to buy it. There's nothing wrong in it. It's just that every product has its own box. So take Xiaomi. Ab Xiaomi sells you a phone for 50K. Will you buy it? Typically, आपका Xiaomi का price range कौन सा? 15 to 20, और वहीं पे ही Xiaomi रहता है. That is Xiaomi's box. Now Xiaomi tries with more expensive devices, but nobody buys them, or very less people buy them. Nobody तो नहीं कहूँगा, but very less number of people buy them. On the other hand, if I take Samsung, the same brand sells an 1100 rupee phone also, and the same brand sells you a folding phone for 1.5 lakh rupees, depending on the model and all. But it's the same brand. So branding के साथ क्या होता है? Every brand has what we call, ठीक है? So you have to keep this fact in mind that every brand has its own box. So take for example Maruti. When Maruti wanted to go up the value chain, what did Maruti do? Nexa. Precisely. क्योंकि मारुति का क्या ब्रांड वैल्यू था? वैगनआर, सस्ता सुंदर टिकाऊ. You want a 5 lakh rupee car? It's a no-brainer, buy a Maruti. It's a no-brain decision. But 20 years ago, 10 years ago, when Maruti started selling these cars which were 15 lakh, 20 lakh rupees, nobody bought them. कभी आपने सुना Grand Vitara? नई वाली नहीं. The original Grand Vitara, there was a car that Maruti used to sold called Kizashi. It was a 20 lakh rupee Maruti at a time when a BMW started at 23 lakh rupees. Who will buy a Maruti? It didn't sell. Grand Vitara, petrol SUV in India in the early 2000s. When petrol was 68 rupees a liter, diesel was 38 rupees a liter. कौन खरीदेगा? किसी ने नहीं खरीदा. That's the identity. But today, when Maruti wants to sell you a 15 lakh rupee Grand Vitara, there is a 1 year waiting list. क्यों? Jimny ले लो. Jimny पे they've already got 20,000 bookings. जो नया मॉडल आ रहा है. It's a Jeep. Gypsy की posh बहन है. But why are people willing to pay money for it? Because the brand identity has changed. अब बेस्ट एग्जाम्पल ये इतना लंबा चौड़ा क्यों? Ertiga वर्सेस XL6, दोनों में क्या डिफरेंस है? Ertiga टैक्सी में चलती है और XL6 नेक्सा में, एंड देयर इज अ प्राइस डिफरेंशियल अबाउट 1.5 लाख रुपीस. बट व्हाई आर पीपल विलिंग टू पे? मेरे पास है, आई नो, आई हैव पेड फॉर इट. व्हाई आर वी विलिंग टू पे? व्हाई आर वी सकर्स फॉर पेइंग दैट? Brand identity. That is where branding comes. Are you getting my point? That is where brand is there just to entice you to move up the value chain depending on how the brand identity has been created. So, if you want to change your identity, you may have to end up changing the brand. Nexa is the best example that a company has to come up with a premium brand because the original brand identity does not allow it to go beyond the box. I need to expand the box. And how do I do it? I create a slightly differentiated brand association and brand identity. Hyundai is also doing that with Kia in India. If you take a Creta versus a Seltos, it's basically the same car. But a Seltos has a little bit more expensive, it has a little bit more features, it has a better brand identity, which is why people are willing to pay a little bit extra for that association. Right? That's the word that we're looking at, identity. Right? So in marketing, please keep in mind that the brand identity is a very important thing. और अभी एक मेरे को latest brand बताओ which has recently been relaunched. One brand in India. Recent. Java तो साल से ऊपर होता है. सबसे सिंपल हो ना यार, कैंपा कोला सबसे सिंपल हो. Ambani Group is trying to bring it back. Why? और उसकी मार्केटिंग मैसेज भी आप ध्यान से देखना, वही पुराना टेस्ट. Why? Because what are they leveraging? अब एक ये ले लो आप, दो आइडेंटिटी से बस टू मोर एग्जांपल्स. माउंटेन ड्यू ले लो. Mountain Dew, what is the brand that Mountain Dew tries to create for itself? हाँ जी, एनर्जी, धर के आगे जीते. But I personally feel, please correct me if you guys agree or don't agree with me. I think we should not drink Mountain Dew because it makes us do stupid things like jump off a cliff in a gypsy. Stupid thing. And thumbs up makes us selfish. हम सारी मेहनत करते हैं और हम एक बॉटल लेके आते हैं. अब गए हो 4-5 तो ले आओ, अगली बार इतनी मेहनत करनी पड़ेगी. That's the separate. That's the humorous part. But again, what does thumbs up do? Now look at thumbs up's identity. It is supposed to be a strong, so its brand is Taste the Thunder. At a time in India when thumbs up was being killed off by Coke and Pepsi, thumbs up had a unique taste. And that taste was what people associated with the brand. So when Coca-Cola tried to kill off thumbs up and assume that people will replace it with Coke, they realized that Coke is too sweet. अगर आप लोगों ने try किया है, if you'll take all three of them, thumbs up, Coke and Pepsi, thumbs up is the strongest in terms of carbonation and taste. Then comes Pepsi, then comes Coke. If you've ever tried them, you can do that exercise at your own end and you can see the difference that I'm trying to tell. So when the brand identity gets created, it is also linked to the product, it is linked to the marketing message, and most importantly, it is linked to the brand ambassador. Who was Thumbs Up's brand ambassador for a very long time? Salman Khan. Why not Amir Khan? What's wrong with Amir Khan as a brand ambassador? All three of Amir or Shah Rukh Khan for that matter. Shah Rukh Khan, abhi maine Pathaan ke baad I've seen one ad of Pepsi with Shah Rukh Khan as the ambassador. Salman Khan isn't there. Suddenly, ekdam se Salman Khan has been replaced with Shah Rukh Khan for whatever reason. Let's not get into the dynamics of it. But the point is that when I take Thumbs Up, I need an action hero. I don't need a romance star. And Salman Khan doesn't do too much of romance. He's more into the genre of action. And Shah Rukh Khan or Amir Khan are more towards the romance wala part rather than the fighty part. Pathaan is a rare example of Shah Rukh Khan doing fighty movies. It's a rare example. It's rare. There's identity. Take Hrithik Roshan again. Why Mountain Dew has gone for Hrithik Roshan? Why not say Kartik Aaryan? Again, identity. So when you're building the brand, everything from the way the product is designed, to the packaging, to the brand ambassador, to the marketing message, all of them have to be consistent. That is the key part with branding. The multiple avenues of branding that we are doing, they have to be giving the same consistent message for the brand to work in its original need, which is association, identity, and brand recall in the minds of the customer. I cannot change that, right? So that's where the branding part comes in. इसमें कुछ है एग्जाम के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से बता रहा हूँ. एग्जाम में प्रैक्टिकल क्वेश्चन ही आते हैं. आई डोंट नो व्हाट द पेपर हैज बीन मेड. टिपिकली अ प्रैक्टिकल क्वेश्चन. यही है क्वेश्चन. ऐसी क्वेश्चन आते हैं. अगर मेरे हाथ लगेंगे तो ऐसी क्वेश्चन आएंगे. नहीं, मैंने नहीं बनाया. अब की बारी मेरा नंबर नहीं लगा. Somebody else has made it. I was occupied. I was busy. I was asked to make the question paper, but I was busy, so I had to respectfully decline. Typically speaking, in marketing, the questions you can expect are practical in nature or direct in nature. Okay? So let's say there's a question that comes on pricing or product life cycle. So you have explain the product life cycle, taking the example of a product at the growth stage to suggest what marketing effort that company will need to do in order for the product to be successful. So typically आपको 70 मार्क्स का पेपर है, if I'm not wrong. 30 का इंटरनल है, वो तो क्विजेज आपकी हो गई जो होना था. जो आपने करना था उसमें आपने कर लिया. अब रिमेनिंग 70 मार्क्स के लिए you will typically get 14 marks के 5 questions. Usually the thumb rule is one of them is a case study, and which is usually compulsory depending on how the paper setting goes. That's the standard DU thumb rule. एक केस स्टडी आती है. ये कोविड के टाइम दे चेंज द पैटर्न, बट अदरवाइज इट्स अ स्टैंडर्ड थंब रूल. एक केस स्टडी आएगी, वो यूजुअली कंपलसरी होगी, एंड यू विल हैव अबाउट 5 क्वेश्चंस जिसमें से आपको बोला जाएगा 4 कर लो. सो देयर विल बी चॉइस एंड देयर माइट बी इंटरनल चॉइस आल्सो. सो अ टिपिकल मार्केटिंग पेपर क्वेश्चन कुड बी, like I said, what is the product life cycle? Explain the product life cycle, taking examples, suggest how a product in the introductory stage of its life can, or what are the marketing efforts that that product needs to do. So taking lots of examples. So again, please एक चीज जरूर ध्यान रखना. When the marketing scheme is made, typically a marketing scheme is made, you'll have about 7 marks for theory and 7 marks for examples. When we do in my college, it's a 15 mark. हमारा undergraduate तो 75 में 15 into 5 होता है. So उसमें 7 marks theory, 8 mark example. Standard rule है. Whatever paper we are doing, if it's strategy, marketing, HR, ये जो वाले papers होते हैं जहाँ examples की जरूरत है, वहाँ पे there's a standard thumb rule, 50% for theory, 50% for example. So if you want good marks, please get quality, quantity, variety and relevance of examples. वही मैं कर रहा हूँ class में. Trying to give you that examples वाला background. Theory कुछ भी नहीं है. I can tell you right now, you take a pen, you go into the exam and write, you will get 35-40 without trying. आराम से आएंगे आप लोग. Without trying, you will get your 40. If you are satisfied with that, perfectly all right. If you want more, examples, examples and examples. ठीक है ना? That's the standard rule that you guys need to keep in mind. Okay? सारी important है. ना सारे ही important है. ये काम मैं नहीं करूंगा. Why? वेटेज भी नहीं है. Why? Because I'll tell you what. I was in this scenario, in this situation of yours in 2005. ठीक है, बहुत साल हो गए, मान लिया मैंने उस बात को. No comments on my age. Okay, that's a separate story. But I still remember my marketing faculty. He was like कि मैं, आप थ्योरी मत, टेक्स्ट बुक फेंक दो. Don't buy the textbook. In his logic, it was, we were a private MBA college, so for him, it was like, जो करना है करो. The teacher has the rule ना. So वहाँ पे थोड़ा सा different setup होता है. But I still remember मैंने 2005 में कोटलर पढ़ी थी एक बारी पूरी बुक, खत्म. उसके बाद दोबारा नहीं पढ़ी मैंने. शायद एक बारी पढ़ी थी when I was giving my net, क्योंकि उसमें component था एक marketing. क्योंकि I had applied for management का net, तो marketing था. मैंने probably एक या डेढ़ बारी कोटलर पढ़ी होगी. But the point is that these marketing concepts which I'm telling you ना, मैंने टेक्स्ट बुक नहीं पढ़ी. ये वही है which I've been thinking and which I've been applying for the past 18 years. So textbook, so don't say कि marketing का ये topic ज़्यादा important है या ये less important है. Please don't do that. My suggestion to you will be take out the time. नहीं है तो make time. But please read your Kotler once end to end. या अपना SLM जरूर पढ़ लो एटलीस्ट. कोटलर तक नहीं जा सकते, नहीं है टाइम. आई एम श्योर मेनी ऑफ यू आर वर्किंग प्रोफेशनल्स. नहीं है टाइम, एटलीस्ट अपना SLM पूरा पढ़ लो. और अगर टाइम मिले कोटलर को नॉवल की तरह पढ़ लो. SLM इज प्रिटी गुड. मैं कह रहा हूँ SLM ही कर लो, उतना ही बहुत है. बट उसमें मत कहना कि SLM में से भी छोटा कर दो. वो वैसी बहुत श्रंक है आपकी. ऐसे कोटलर इज व्हाट 900 पेजेस. आपकी SLM कितने पेज है? 200 भी नहीं होगी. 244, 250. कोटलर 900 पेजेस है, प्रॉपर वाला एडिशन. राइट. सो आपने उसको पहली उसको 1/4 करा हुआ है. उससे छोटा मत करो प्लीज. और मत कहना मुझे कि इससे इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक्स कौन से. ठीक है ना. बट एक मैं आपको टिपिकली कहूंगा, इफ यू लुक एट द सिलेबस. रुको, सिलेबस की फाइल खोलते अगर इसमें है तो मेरे पास. रुक जाओ भाई. BCG करानी है आप लोगों ने अभी? यार टाइम नहीं है ना. चक्कर ये मेरे पास बहुत सारा सामान है करने को. आई एम आउट ऑफ टाइम. आई हैव ओनली लाइक व्हाट आई हैव 58 more minutes to complete the entire syllabus. अब मेरा हाल सोचो. देखो, BCG इंपॉर्टेंट है. BCG इंपॉर्टेंट है. देखो एक क्वेश्चन आपका, देखो मैं आपको स्टैंडर्ड बताता हूँ. टेक योर सिलेबस. सिलेबस देखो अपना, सबके पास है ये सिलेबस की फाइल? नहीं है तो ढूंढ लेना वेबसाइट पे. SOL की वेबसाइट पे है. ठीक है. नहीं तो FMS का ले लेना. आई थिंक ये FMS वाला ही सिलेबस है. नहीं तो FMS में, हाँ ये MBA फुल टाइम वाला ना, ये FMS से मिल जाएगा. FMS वाला ही सिलेबस है ये. ठीक है. तो कोई नहीं, यू हैव नॉट बीन कॉम्प्रोमाइज्ड ऑन क्वालिटी. क्योंकि जो ऐसे जैसे अंडर ग्रेजुएट में कौन सा पेपर था, आई वाज डूइंग HRM. वही था जो मैंने बनाया था सिलेबस. तो आई वाज पार्ट ऑफ द वे, सो आई नो कि वही वाला सिलेबस. सो यू हैव द सेम क्वालिटी. अरे भाई वो तो अंडर ग्रेजुएट के लिए ना भाई. PG हो कि UG बच्चा हो, पहले मुझे ये बताओ. डिसाइड. The point that I'm trying to put is that you have the same quality, so you can expect the exam paper to be also of the same standard. इसका मतलब थोड़ा सा आपके हिसाब से टफ होगा, बट हमारे हिसाब से नॉर्मल होगा. Don't worry. But if you look at the topics, चलो focus. Let's focus. Okay, we don't have too much of time to do chattering. Let's focus. Okay. So unit 1 you have कस्टमर वैल्यू, मार्केटिंग फिलोसफीज. इनमें से मोस्ट प्रॉब्ली शॉर्ट आंसर आएगा. इसमें पूरे 15 मार्क के या 14 मार्क के क्वेश्चन की इज्जत नहीं है. इट इज नॉट देयर. इट्स टू स्मॉल अ टॉपिक. इट्स नॉट देयर. इट्स जस्ट नॉट देयर. यू वोंट एक्सपेक्ट इट. बट व्हेन इट कम्स टू मार्केटिंग एनवायरनमेंट, यू कैन एक्सपेक्ट अ 14 मार्कर. आइदर यू यूज पेस्टल. आप लोगों ने करा है पेस्टल एंड पोटर्स 5 फोर्सेस? तभी कहते हैं नोट्स ले लिया करो क्लासेस में शैतानो. तभी कहते हैं. राइट. ओके. सो नोट डाउन इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक्स. पेस्टल, PESTEL, ये एक एनालिसिस होता है. गूगल करना मिल जाएगा. कोई रॉकेट साइंस नहीं है. पेस्टेल, आई राइट इट ऑन. अरे रुको यार, रुको 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 रुको. डोंट वरी. इट्स अ टूल फॉर मार्केटिंग. इट्स अ टूल फॉर द एनालिसिस ऑफ द बिजनेस एनवायरनमेंट. ठीक है. पेस्टल है स्टैंडर्ड. पेस्टल पे क्वेश्चन आता है रफली. मार्केटिंग एनवायरनमेंट पे पक्का क्वेश्चन आएगा. ठीक है. पेस्टल हो चाहे पोटर्स 5 फोर्सेस होगा, चाहे जनरल क्वेश्चन होगा. But there will be one long question. There should be one from unit 2, which is your marketing environment. इसमें पक्का एक long question बनता है. अगर मैं पेपर सेट कर रहा हूँ, if I am doing it, I haven't done it this time. I haven't done it. If I'm doing it for my college students, there's one standard question on pestle and Porter's 5 forces. उसमें internal choice होती है. ये मैं typically कहूँगा एक pestle या एक Porter's दूंगा. Marketing environment cover जरूर होगा. There is no other option around it. ठीक है ना. वो एक standard question है. एक आपको STP पे पक्का आएगा. STP, पेस्टल एंड पोर्टर्स 5 फोर्सेस. पोर्टर एक माइकल पोर्टर करके एक ऑथर है. देयर इज अ टूल दैट ही क्रिएटेड कॉल्ड 5 फोर्सेस मार्केटिंग एनालिसिस मार्केटिंग एनवायरनमेंट के लिए है. आपकी टेक्स्ट बुक में शायद है या नहीं, आई डोंट नो, नहीं तो गूगल कर लेना, ये चीजें गूगल पे मिल जाएंगी. दीज आर फॉर योर ओन लर्निंग एज वेल. ठीक है. एक एसटीपी पे जरूर एक क्वेश्चन आएगा. एसटीपी, सेगमेंटेशन, टारगेटिंग एंड पोजिशनिंग. इस पे पक्का एक क्वेश्चन आएगा, सम वेरिएंट ऑफ दैट क्वेश्चन और द अदर. एसटीपी इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. एक आएगा आपका कंप्यूटर एनालिसिस, कंपटीशन एंड कंप्यूटर एनालिसिस. इस पे भी एक आ सकता है शॉर्ट आंसर या फुल आंसर डिपेंडिंग ऑन हाउ द क्वेश्चन इज स्ट्रक्चर्ड. प्रोडक्ट लाइफ साइकिल पे पक्का आएगा एंड प्रोडक्ट मिक्स पे आएगा. देखो, यू शुड हैव, डिपेंडिंग ऑन हाउ द क्वेश्चन पेपर इज मेड, यू शुड हैव अराउंड 6 or 7 क्वेश्चंस. उसमें से आपको 5 करने होंगे. Depending on how the paper is made, we cannot ask you more than 5 questions to do, but we will give you choice. So some questions can be made compulsory. जैसे मैंने कहा केस स्टडी कंपल्सरी हो सकती है, but rest of में आपको थोड़ा बहुत choice, there will be some choice. देखो, केस स्टडी में टिपिकली क्या होता है, they'll give you a scenario that let's say Zepto in India or Jio in India. When Jio was launched, एक उस पे 2 पेज की केस स्टडी होगी, तो उसमें लिखा रहेगा what did Jio do nicely. That will be one question. Second question will be what did Airtel do wrong. और third question होगा if you were the CEO of Airtel, what would you do. वो केस स्टडी के अंदर होगा. सो केस स्टडी वहीं पे ही पढ़ने के लिए होगी आपके पास. देखो, वंस पहले मैं ये फिनिश कर लूं एक बारी टॉपिक्स वाला लिस्ट, देन लेट्स नॉट जंप अराउंड ना. ठीक है. एक आपका आएगा प्राइस पे आएगा. एक प्रोडक्ट लाइन लेंथ एंड डेप्थ पे भी आ सकता है. प्रोडक्ट लाइन, लेंथ, डेप्थ. नहीं, प्रोडक्ट नहीं, प्रोडक्ट लाइन, हाँ, प्रोडक्ट लाइन, लेंथ, डेप्थ एंड विड्थ. प्रोडक्ट लाइन जो कंसेप्ट है, प्रोडक्ट लाइन, उसका लेंथ, डेप्थ और ब्रेथ. ठीक है. ये आएगा आपका. एक प्राइस पे आएगा जरूर. पता नहीं बेटा, मैंने देखा नहीं, क्योंकि जो आपका टॉपिक है उसमें बहुत ज्यादा नहीं है, बट इट कुड बी दैट व्हाट आर द फैक्टर्स अफेक्टिंग प्राइसिंग. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, व्हाट आर द फैक्टर्स दैट अफेक्ट द प्राइसिंग ऑफ प्रोडक्ट, और यू वांट टू सेल अ प्रोडक्ट इन द रूरल मार्केट, हाउ वुड यू प्राइस इट, व्हाट आर द फैक्टर्स विच यू विल कंसिडर. ऐसे करके क्वेश्चन आ सकता है आपका. बट मोस्ट लाइकली, लुकिंग एट द सिलेबस, मोस्ट लाइकली शॉर्ट आंसर ही होना चाहिए इस पे. 15 मार्क का मेरे को नहीं लगता कि इसमें आ सकता है. उस पे आ सकता है. गूगल कर लेना, नहीं मिलेगा तो, नहीं तो मेरे नोट्स पढ़ लेना. जिसको चाहिए, मेरे पास सारे नोट्स हैं, मेरे से ले लेना, नो इश्यूज. ठीक है. राइट. शैतानो, मैंने क्या बोला? रीड द एंटायर एसएलएम. I wish I could do that, but A, I haven't prepared the question paper, so I don't have it. And B, even if I have it, I won't share. ठीक है ना? So please, right? देखो, थोड़े सा तो we have to maintain a brand identity ना, कि हम DU है, थोड़ा सा तो हमें वो करना है ना, right? Okay. Then there will be one question on distribution and logistics. How distribution and logistics? हाँ. है. मैं पहुंचूंगा आगे, आप बीच में आपने मेरे को डायरेक्ट कर दिया, मैंने उसके नोट्स बनाए हुए अभी. आई विल कम टू दैट. ठीक है. देन देयर विल बी वन ऑन एडवर्टाइजिंग एंड प्रमोशन. एडवर्टाइजिंग एंड सेल्स प्रमोशन पे एक स्टैंडर्ड क्वेश्चन आएगा, पक्का आना चाहिए. ठीक है. और एक आपका आएगा सर्विस मार्केटिंग पे आ सकता है, मार्केटिंग ऑफ सर्विसेज, बिकॉज दे आर यूनिक. यू कैन नॉट मार्केट अ सर्विस द वे यू वुड मार्केट अ प्रोडक्ट, राइट. देन देयर विल बी वन ऑन सोशल मीडिया मार्केटिंग. ये तो आज की डेट में स्टैंडर्ड क्वेश्चन है. और एक आपका सीआरएम और रूरल मार्केटिंग पे छोटे छोटे शॉर्ट आंसर आ सकते हैं. सीआरएम, कस्टमर रिलेशनशिप मैनेजमेंट एंड रूरल मार्केटिंग, ये आपके स्टैंडर्डाइज शॉर्ट आंसर क्वेश्चन. CRM, and also if I am making the paper, these are the questions that I would be asking looking at the syllabus. CRM क्यों करना है, क्या करना है, what is the role, importance, need. शॉर्ट आंसर आएगा. So write a short note on CRM. शॉर्ट नोट, हाँ जी, शॉर्ट नोट्स में टिपिकली यार अगर हम लोग देते हैं ना, वी विल गिव यू 5 ऑप्शंस एंड विल से डू 3, 5 into 3 हमारा स्टैंडर्ड होता है 15 मार्क्स के लिए, 5 into 3. बट अगर इसमें वी कैन ऑल्सो हैव 7 into 2, वी कैन ऑल्सो हैव 7 into 2, वी कैन ऑल्सो हैव 4 4, कितना होगा, 4 4 6 भी हो सकता है, ये भी हो सकता है. ये आपको ये वाले टॉपिक SLM से आराम से हो जाएंगे. हाँ जी, हाँ एसएल, नहीं ये वाले स्टैंडर्डाइज है, इनमें कोई इशू नहीं है इसका. ठीक है ना. सो दिस इज व्हाट आई वुड बी डूइंग इफ आई एम मेकिंग द पेपर फॉर मार्केटिंग. दिस इज व्हाट, दीज आर द क्वेश्चन दैट आई वुड बी आस्किंग. और मैं यूजुअली कोशिश करूंगा एक टॉपिक इनमें से केस स्टडी बन जाए. I personally prefer using case studies as an exam question, depending on your author, who depending on the question paper setter. I don't know who has done that. Honestly, I don't know. But if I was there, I would definitely give one case study. ठीक है ना. If I was there, there will be one case. But वो इन्हीं topics पे ही आएगी. ऐसा नहीं है कि out of these topics होगी. It will be one of the questions which I said 15 mark वाले questions, 14 mark वाले, उन्हीं में से आएगा. ठीक है ना. So this is the coverage for the preparation part. Now let's get back to our work. ठीक है. अब आई एम जस्ट रनिंग थ्रू द ब्रांड पार्ट. एक लास्ट पार्ट बचा है इसमें. व्हेन आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट एसोसिएशन आइडेंटिटी, द वर्ड इज हाउ डू आई पोजिशन माई ब्रांड इन द माइंड्स ऑफ द कस्टमर. सो थम्स अप की ब्रांड आइडेंटिटी इज टफ, स्पोर्टी, मस्क्यूलर. कोका कोला's brand identity is family friendly. ठीक है ना. So you look at it that way, right? So positioning is basically a combination of association and identity. What position, what identity am I assigning to my brand? So मारुति वैगन आर ले लो आप. वैगन आर की क्या आइडेंटिटी है? सस्ता, सुंदर एंड टिकअप. That's it. Which is why when you look at Uber and Ola, which is the most popular vehicle used by these guys? The white Wagon R. The standard white Wagon R. नहीं तो standard CNG Desire. ये standard गाड़ी है. और अगर इफ यू आर इन द टूर ऑपरेटर बिजनेस, स्टैंडर्ड है आपकी डीजल इनोवा. स्टैंडर्ड, वो भी एक स्टैंडर्ड है. नहीं तो दिल्ली में अर्टिगा, CNG अर्टिगा, एक और स्टैंडर्डाइज्ड व्हीकल. आपको भी ध्यान से देखना, व्हाई आर मेजॉरिटी ऑफ मारुति व्हीकल्स यूज्ड इन उबर एंड ओला? Hyundai की भी है, होंडा भी है, टोयोटा इटियोस भी दिख जाएगी आपको. सस्ता, सुंदर, टिकाऊ. बट नेक्सा नहीं होगा उसमें कभी भी. नेक्सा होगा तो वो पॉश होटल बिजनेस में होगा. नॉर्मल में नेक्सा नहीं होगा. क्यों? बिकॉज इट इज नॉट द आइडेंटिटी. नेक्सा ऑल्सो नाउ कम्स विद CNG, ऐसा नहीं है. स्टिल हैज दैट इकोनॉमिकल पार्ट कवर्ड. बट यू वुडंट बाय अ नेक्सा व्हीकल फॉर अ टैक्सी ऑपरेटर बिजनेस. कमर्शियल में आपका चलेगा ही नहीं. वो कॉस्ट एफिशिएंट ही नहीं है आपके लिए. इट इज नॉट द आइडेंटिटी, नहीं है ना उसकी. सो इफ आई एम अ पर्सनल कस्टमर, आई विल बाय XL6 rather than Ertiga. इफ आई एम अ टैक्सी ऑपरेटर, मैं Ertiga ही खरीदूंगा. I have no other choice. That's my only 7-seater which I can buy in CNG. That's the positioning part. ठीक है. So what I'll do is, अभी देखो, honestly, I spent hours and hours making these notes previously, but we don't have the time to discuss. So branding के लिए मैं अभी इतना ही कर रहा हूँ. Take my notes. There are about 50-60 slides on these topics only. Lots of examples I've tried to ensure. Examples जरूर पढ़ लेना. और जो एग्जाम्पल नहीं समझ में, प्लीज गूगल. नंबर 1. नंबर 2, टॉक टू मी, मैसेज मी और कॉल. ठीक है ना. दैट्स नॉट एन इशू. देन वीव डन ब्रांडिंग. ब्रांडिंग के बाद ये बहुत सारे हैं. ठीक है. ओके, जस्ट अ वेरी स्मॉल कंसेप्ट लिंक टू ब्रांडिंग. ओके, पैकेजिंग एंड लेबलिंग. अब इस पे भी आपको एक शॉर्ट आंसर क्वेश्चन आ सकता है. राइट अ शॉर्ट नोट ऑन द इंपॉर्टेंस और रेलेवेंस ऑफ पैकेजिंग एंड लेबलिंग. नाउ व्हाट इज पैकेजिंग? व्हाट इज पैकेजिंग? व्हाट इज पैकेजिंग? What is packaging? The covering, so think of it like in that sense, sorry, it may sound a very weird example, but the packaging is like the outer clothes of a product. It's basically what the customer sees first. So कभी आप ध्यान से देखना, go to any supermarket, बिग बाजार चले जाओ, राज मंदिर चले जाओ, कृष्णा चले जाओ, जो आपका मन है, go to one of them, observe, don't buy anything, observe marketing in action. आपका पेपर जो आप दे रहे हो ना, SLM भी मत पढ़ो, 2 बार ये ग्रोसरी एक सुपर मार्केट में चक्कर काटो, आपका काम हो जाएगा. Because all the concepts instead of the textbook, you will see them with your eyes. सब चीजें. अब आप if you go to a crowded supermarket, लाइन से Kellogg's के डब्बे पड़े. Kellogg's colors are white and orange and red. उसी की family use होती है. Suddenly एक Bagris का डब्बा आता है, which is brilliant purple and pink in color. What does it do to your eyes? Pulls you towards it. And what does that attraction do? You are now thinking, अच्छा यार बागरी भी करके कंपनी होती है, मेरे को तो सिर्फ Kellogg's पता था. Let me try. So what the packaging does is it not only protects the product, it also helps to display the product. It also helps the product to stand out. अब आप Cadbury's ले लो. Cadbury's का जो color है, that royal purple, it stands out. So packaging, so when we look at packaging, packaging does multiple jobs. One is it's a brand ambassador. It does marketing. It does product display. It does product safety. It does product reusability. अब आप कभी कॉर्नफ्लेक्स का ही देख लो, ऊपर होता है उसके अंदर एक टैब होता है, यू कैन पुट द टैब बैक एंड यू रीसील इट. सम कंपनीज हैव स्टार्टेड ऑफरिंग यू, जैसे चाय या कॉफी आती है, इट कम्स विद दोस जिप लॉक्स. You pour it, then you zip lock it again so that it retains the freshness of the product. Some packaging also includes ease of use. Colin है, उसके ऊपर एक spray bottle आएगी, so that you can use it to spray on the surface, which is what the ad also says. Spray on the surface और एक बारी wipe करो. वैसे एक बारी में नहीं होता है, but still that's what the ad says. It's the same way the ad says 2 minutes में Maggi. आज तक मेरे से कभी नहीं बना 2 मिनट में Maggi. But that's where the advertisement part comes in. So what the packaging does is it also contains cooking instructions. How to cook the particular product. भाई Maggi में कितना पानी डालना है? Let's put it that way. As simple as that. Different variants of Maggi have different water requirements. ध्यान से देखना, मैं बहुत सारा consume करता हूँ, अलग बात है. Which is why I know all these things. But Maggi has that. So the packaging part does a lot of things. And one last thing which the packaging does is comply with government regulations. So इंडिया में सबसे विजिबल रहता है वो आपका ग्रीन डॉट एंड रेड डॉट, whether it's a vegetarian product or it contains non-vegetarian ingredients. सबसे सिंपल है. So this is all that packaging does. But packaging is linked to branding because the colors, the design, the themes. So अब योगा बार है या आपका बागरीज है, they are upcoming products. So their packaging is more funky. It's more colorful. It's more bright. Kellogg's mature है. So Kellogg's की पैकेजिंग शोज कि वो mature है. White, red, orange. खत्म. Instantly identified ये डब्बा Kellogg's है. But Bagri and Yoga Bar are trying to create these funky colors because they need to stand out in the market. So packaging does lots of things supporting branding. ठीक है. Again, there are lots of examples. You can take them from the notes. That's all right. Okay. क्या? Okay. So we are midway now. So let's take अभी थोड़ा सा pricing पे करते हैं because there are a couple of important topics which we want to do in pricing. Okay. Now what is the price? What all factors come under the price that you pay, for example, for this pen, this board marker, whatever it is, लक्सर है शायद, हाँ ये लक्सर है, you pay. And मैं इसलिए चेक कर रहा हूँ क्योंकि every whiteboard marker looks the same, चाहे वो डॉम्स का चाहे कैमलिन का चाहे जिस मर्जी का, they're all typically the same. But the price, let's say this is $20, for example, मुझे ध्यान नहीं, I think it is $20. What all are the components which go under that $20? एक तो होगी आपकी मैन्युफैक्चरिंग कॉस्ट, रॉ मटेरियल कॉस्ट हो गई आपकी, और क्या क्या आता है? पैकेजिंग कॉस्ट, डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन कॉस्ट, रिटेलिंग कॉस्ट, प्रिंटिंग, डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन, पैकेजिंग और क्या आएगा, लॉजिस्टिक्स. मैं उसको ट्रांसपोर्ट नहीं कहूंगा, मैं लॉजिस्टिक, आई यूज अ बिगर टर्म. ठीक है, सो आई कॉल इट डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन एंड लॉजिस्टिक्स बोथ. डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन, लॉजिस्टिक्स, वेयर हाउसिंग, वो सब उसी में आ रहा है. इसलिए आई डोंट वांट टू क्रिएट टू मेनी हेड्स. बट यू ऑल्सो हैव एडवर्टाइजिंग कॉस्ट, you have R&D cost, you have retailer margin, you have my profit margin. All of these things combine to create the final selling price that you are paying as a customer. एक और चीज है इसमें, competitor pricing. If every competitor is selling this pen for 15 bucks and if I want to sell it at 20 bucks, I can. But can I justify the price? That is always the question. So when I buy an Apple device, for example, or a expensive Samsung, or a OnePlus, it's very expensive. How do I justify it? So pricing के साथ ना आपका एक चीज जरूर आएगा. I won't use the word directly, but justification makes sense. In my mind as a customer, is the price justified? So उसके साथ में आएगा आपका price and features. The product and features combination is what will be justifying the price. Can I justify the price? Is the customer willing to pay price X for product Y with ABC features? That is where the combination comes in. Then comes market. The product market fitment will also determine pricing. So say for example in India, Skoda is a luxury car. So it is priced, it is marketed, it is positioned accordingly. But in Europe, Skoda is the Wagoner. So it is positioned and priced accordingly. Are you getting the point? Because if I price it less, then what am I doing? I am diluting the brand identity. Same story with that same example I gave you, Apple. A 20,000 rupee Apple. Apple का खर्चा iPhone में 20,000 ही है. All the manufacturing cost, input cost, raw material cost, R&D cost, advertisement, blah blah blah. जितनी मर्जी cost डालनी है डाल लो. Their expense is no more than 20k. So even if they sell it to you at 25k, they are still making a huge profit. But they choose to sell it to you at 60k. How do they justify the price? Features, positioning, customer loyalty. These are all factors which are out of the positioning. So my pricing has to be in sync with my branding and my position. ठीक है ना? So if I say that Apple is giving me an iPhone for 60k, like चल यार iPhone है, features है, posh है, safe है, whatever attributes that I give to the product, they are all factored into pricing. So when Apple says I am a safe product, can you put a price on safety? Can you put a price on safety? Can you? Maybe, maybe not. So say for example, अभी मेरे साथ हुआ, couple of months earlier, somebody snatched my phone. ठीक है? आई एम श्योर आप लोगों के फैमिली में भी कोई ना कोई होगा, खुद के साथ हुआ या कोई ना कोई होगा जिसके साथ हुआ होगा. बट इफ इट्स एन एंड्रॉइड फोन, मेरे को अभी तक वो रहता है यार कुछ डेटा निकल जाएगा. आईफोन सिंपली फोन तो मिलना नहीं गया तो वो तो मतलब ही नहीं बनता, रिगार्डलेस ऑफ व्हाटएवर फीचर्स इट में से फाइंड माय आईफोन एंड ऑल दैट जंक, कुछ नहीं होता उससे. भारत है, भारत में नहीं चलता है. लेट्स बी प्रैक्टिकल, लेट्स लुक एट द रियलिटी. द रियलिटी इज आई कैन रिमोट वाइप माय फोन. सो आई पुट माय फोन ऑन लॉस्ट मोड. गलती से कभी कोई भला मानस दिख गया तो वापस कर दे, विच आई डाउट, क्योंकि इट वाज स्नैच्ड, इट वाजंट लॉस्ट. देयर इज अ डिफरेंस. ठीक है ना? बट वन थिंग आई कुड डू वाज आई कुड प्रेस रिमोट वाइप and 5-7 days later मेरा फोन 10 सेकंड के लिए ऑन हुआ होगा, and in that 10 seconds it was wiped. So none of my data got lost. Can I put a price on that? Maybe, maybe not. That is where the positioning comes. So now if Apple says you buy a phone, I ensure safety, there will be lots of people who will say अच्छा यार, I'll pay the price premium as long as it delivers what I wanted to deliver. So pricing में आपके साथ ये होगा, it is very easy to price high. But what is the difficult part? Delivering that price. High price करना बहुत easy है. But will the customer see value in that high price? Now take for example PVR. PVR आपसे 300 रुपए लेता है मूवी टिकट के. आपको लगता है उसमें प्राइस है? आई एम श्योर ऑल ऑफ यू यूज्ड इट. बट 400 रुपए का पॉपकॉर्न है, उसमें प्राइस लगता है वर्थ इट. फिर आप क्या करते हो? फिर आप ढूंढ एक, एंड सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट, सबसे बेस्ट थिंग विच आई लाइक, 310 रुपए की 500 ml कोल्ड ड्रिंक. उतने में आई कैन इजीली गेट 5 liters आउटसाइड. बट व्हाई एम आई पेइंग इट? Is it justifiable? Am I willing to pay? Yes. Because what PVR has done has hit upon the strategy. They don't price the initial product high. 250-300 रुपए की मूवी टिकट ना चुपती नहीं है, वो 400 रुपए का पॉपकॉर्न चुपता है. But when you go to watch a movie, what is it? Normal popcorn is 200, caramel popcorn is 300. Again, Colgate versus Colgate Total. Same logic. You are consuming X finite popcorn. I consume caramel, they will charge me extra for it. You're getting my point? So when we talk of the experience, a ticket choti hai, but we have always been taught through marketing कि movie popcorn के बिना movie नहीं होती. It is just a documentary, right? So you will be like, चल यार popcorn ले ही लेते हैं, छोटे वाले ही लोगे, लेकिन आप ले लोगे, और वो उसमें इतना margin होगा उनके पास that they can cross subsidize the initial product. And that business model is called the HP or Gillette model. HP का printer, majority of you will have an HP printer at home. Printer is dirt cheap to buy. What is expensive? The ink, the cartridges. Which is why HP in India came up with a unique product, which is that ink tank. And ink tank में आपका 2000 rupees में color printer का पूरी ink भर जाती है. Why? Because in India, what is the most important thing you would do with your printer? You will take it to Wazirpur or Nehru Place, भैया refill कर दो. Who loses the money in that? HP. So what HP realized? Let's price the product accordingly. And then let's convince the customer, भाई look, अब आपका इतना सस्ता printer है, अब original ink ले ही लो. Otherwise it will damage the head of the printer. So what are we trying to do? This is the model where the initial purchase is of a low price and the repeat purchase is more expensive. So those of you who use Gillette products, आदो को देख के मुझे लगता नहीं को यूज करते होंगे Gillette के products, ठीक है ना? आदो आजकल just a different trend, so I'm not getting into the logic of it, whether you do it or not is a separate story. But you look at the Gillette model. The Gillette razor that I use, I bought it in 2012. वो अभी तक स्टिक चल रही है, पता नहीं कितनी बारी नीचे गिरा है, लेकिन टूटा नहीं है. Why? Why has Gillette ensured that the stick of the razor is literally indestructible? क्योंकि अगर वो स्टिक टूट गई, then I am allowed to buy another brand. मैं बच जाऊंगा उस ब्रांड से, मैं भाग जाऊंगा उनके कंट्रोल से. Which is why you have this whole compatibility issue. Why does Gillette? You cannot use any other company's blades with a Gillette razor. And vice versa. आप लेट शेव का ले लो, आप बॉम्बे शेविंग कंपनी के ले लो, बहुत सारी कंपनीज है आज की डेट में, बट दे आर नॉट इंटरचेंजेबल. बट एचपी में आपको कंपैटिबल कार्ट्रिज मिल जाएगी 12A लेजर प्रिंटर के लिए. अगेन द प्राइस पार्ट. Are you getting my point? So when we talk of pricing, we have to look at pricing in the initial product, repeat purchase, sales, after sales service and resaleability. अब आप आईफोन, अगर आप एक 60K का आईफोन ले रहे हैं, इवन इफ यू सेल इट आफ्टर 2 years, आपको आराम से 25 मिल जाएगा उसका. इट रिटेन्स वैल्यू इन द सेकेंड हैंड मार्केट. आपके पास अगर किसी के पास एक व्हाइट वैगन आर है जो आपको सेल करनी है, यू विल गेट अ बेटर प्राइस फॉर इट देन इवन अ होंडा अमेज. मेरे साथ हो चुका है. माई स्विफ्ट, 5 साल पुरानी स्विफ्ट गॉट मोर मनी देन माई अमेज. क्यों? क्योंकि अमेज की सेकेंड हैंड मार्केट में वैल्यू कम है, क्योंकि होंडा है, इट्स मोर एक्सपेंसिव, इट इज प्राइस्ड अकॉर्डिंगली, और कैब्स में नहीं चलती, वो कैब्स में स्विफ्ट चलती है. सो आई एंडेड अप अर्निंग मोर मनी ऑन माय सेकेंड हैंड स्विफ्ट, दो इट वाज चीपर. आई रैन इट मोर, आई सोल्ड इट later, और मेरे को उसमें ज्यादा पैसे मिले दैन माई होंडा अमेज. सोचो हाल, मैंने उसको कम भी चलाया, उसको आई पेड मोर फॉर इट, इट हैड मोर फीचर्स, इट वाज अ सेडान, ब्ला ब्ला ब्ला. व्हाई? बिकॉज pricing after sales or the second hand market is also factor in pricing. So जब आप pricing करते हैं, it's not as simple as MRP. It has lots of things running in the background to ensure that you price your product in a way that the customer buys it and buys it regularly. Whether you use the Gillette model, whether you use the Xiaomi model, whether you use the Maruti model or Honda model, pricing is very. And here सबसे important चीज pricing में एक last चीज I will say in pricing, which is brand premium. When Apple sells a product for 60K, the big chunk in it is brand pricing. Brand pricing. क्यों? क्योंकि Apple को पता है मैं 60 में बेचूंगा तब भी लोग खरीद लेंगे. और Xiaomi को पता है that the moment I cross 25, my ability to sell the product will decline. Because that's the position. That is the box that my product lives in. And pricing is stuck in this box. ठीक है ना? So that covers pricing, right? बहुत सारा कुछ है, but I simply don't have the time. I'm sorry. Okay. Okay, distribution. Now let's quickly run through distribution and logistics a little bit. A couple of points which I want to talk about. Now, when I talk of distribution or selling my product in a retail store, right? What is my biggest problem? Think of your neighborhood Kiryana store at the back of your mind. When you go there, what is the biggest problem that a company has when they are selling through the local Kiryana store or even a supermarket? What is the biggest problem in the distribution? Hmm? Priority how? बट उसका उससे पीछे इशू क्या है? आपका पार्ट बिल्कुल ठीक है. योर पॉइंट, हिज पॉइंट इज वेरी राइट दैट द बिगेस्ट क्वेश्चन इज प्रायोरिटाइजेशन. मेरा प्रोडक्ट बिकना चाहिए कंपेयर टू माय कॉम्पिटिटर. व्हाई इज दैट प्रायोरिटाइजेशन नेसेसरी? दैट इज माय क्वेश्चन. यू आर राइट, यू आर इन द राइट डायरेक्शन. द बिगेस्ट प्रॉब्लम इज limited shelf space. That is where the competition starts. क्योंकि there is so limited space, whether it's big basket, whether it's big bazaar or it is your neighborhood Kiryana store, everybody has a storage problem, and that storage problem creates competition. In a perfect world, I could have a store as big as this building. Every brand, every SKU can be displayed, and customers can come and choose whichever one they want. But that's in a perfect world. But in a real world, how I have relationships with retailers has a big impact on my ability to sell my product. So if you go to McDonald's, आपको Coke मिलेगा, and you go to I think KFC, Burger King में शायद Pepsi मिलेगा आपको. क्यों? That is the association. Limited space है. एक ही फाउंटेन मशीन लग सकती है. Pick one. And that is where the prioritization and the competition starts. So when we talk of distribution, the biggest question is limited shelf space. Then the question that will come is variety, turnover and shelf life. So आप कभी ट्राई करना, अपने नेबरहुड किराना स्टोर जाना, wherever you stay, भैया एक टूथपेस्ट दे दो. Not always. Depending on उस भैया के साथ किसका टाई अप बेटर है. If you don't say brand, then he will give you the product which gives him a better margin. हाँ जी, variety, turnover and shelf life. क्योंकि if I am, let's say, take shelf life वाला part only, if I am Amul या Mother Dairy, I can fight to keep my product, but the biggest problem in my product is it has very limited shelf life. So it needs rapid turnover. एक ही फ्रिज है, उसमें कितना भर लोगे आप? Limitation. Again, everything with distribution is limitation. So, if I am a company which is selling in the FMCG business, for me, my distribution partner is very very important because he is ensuring replenishment. खत्म होगा. Empty shelf का क्या मतलब है? It is not a positive message. Empty shelf is अच्छा your product sold. But what is the negative message out of it? अगर वो शेल्फ किसी और ने भर दिया तो आप वहां पे दोबारा नहीं जा पाओगे. Shelf limited shelf space. So my distribution partners are doing lots of things for me. They are doing stocking, they are doing warehousing, they are doing logistics, they are doing transport. Many of them are also collecting cash. अब आप फ्लिपकार्ट या अमेजोन पे जब आप लोग कैश ऑन डिलीवरी देते हैं, वो कैश कौन कलेक्ट कर रहा है? फ्लिपकार्ट वाला तो नहीं आ रहा ना कलेक्ट करने. ई कार्ट है या कोई डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन पार्टनर है जो फ्लिपकार्ट के लिए वो सर्विस कर रहा है. So the distributor or distribution models are doing that as well. Then in today's world, you've got these rapid fulfillment models. सबके पास shelf space कम है. So regularly आके I have to get the shelves replenished. नहीं तो वो particular product या particular variety या वो particular model will keep getting out of stock and the customer will like यार ये वाला तो मिलता ही नहीं, चलो competitor का ले लेते हैं, वो available होता है. That is where the distribution challenge comes in. You have to lock in the customer and you have to ensure that the customer is not tempted by the competition. And one way of ensuring not being tempted is customer का preferred brand and preferred variant store में हमेशा होना चाहिए. That is where the logic comes in. But every distribution channel will have its own product and SKU combination. अगर आप बिग बाजार जाएंगे आपको सैशेज नहीं मिलेंगे because that is not why you are going to big bazaar. You typically go to a big bazaar or a supermarket to buy in bulk, whereas you typically go to your kirana store to buy in small quantities. So आप एरियल ले लो. आपके किराना स्टोर में सबसे बड़ा साइज 2 kgs होगा और बिग बाजार में या राजमंदिर में सबसे छोटा साइज हाफ kg होगा. सैशे नहीं हो. मैगी भी आपको सिंगल नहीं मिलेगा, 8 वाला 16 पैक भी मिलेगा आपको. बिग बाजार यूज्ड टू एट वन पॉइंट टाइम स्टॉक अ 16 पैक मैगी, whereas at your neighborhood किराना स्टोर आपको वो 10 रुपी 12 रुपी 20 रुपी वाले सिंगल पैक्स भी मिलेंगे. रिटेल वर्सेस होलसेल. एंड यू कैन सी दैट इफ यू गो टू चांदनी चौक, वहां पे आपको एक एक आइटम के लिए कोई नहीं देगा. दे वोंट एंटरटेन यू ओनली क्योंकि उनका बिजनेस इज होलसेल. दे डोंट हैव द मार्जिन टू get you to ask questions. But distribution also includes sales support. So if you go to a store where lots of sales people are around to support you, that cost is built into the price. ठीक है ना? So again, when you talk of distribution, challenges in distribution are built into the price. Again, coming back to linking the different topics together. ठीक है? That covers pricing. डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन में हमने थोड़ा बहुत टच अपॉन कर लिया है. ओके, अब हम बस एक ही चीज एडवर्टाइजिंग है नेक्स्ट, विच इज आवर नेक्स्ट टॉपिक विच वी नीड टू. वेरी सिंपल. व्हाट डज एडवर्टाइजिंग डू? क्रिएट्स द अवेयरनेस. व्हाट एल्स डज इट डू? encourages repeat purchase and gives you information about the various new products and services which are being launched. But when it comes to marketing, the most important thing in the marketing world is advertising. I'm not sure if you've seen them. I somehow agree with that logic. I don't know if you've seen them. Delhi में ना ऑटोज के पीछे I don't know if you've seen these slogans which says प्रचार नहीं तो व्यापार नहीं. And I somehow tend to agree with that. Because unless you are a company whose products are being demanded by name, and that kind of company is next to impossible. And only one example which I can think of is Parle Ji. Parle Ji बिल्कुल एडवर्टाइज नहीं करता, बट वो फिर दो रुपए वाला बिस्किट भी और कोई नहीं देता. Why? Because pricing का part है advertising, and Parle Ji runs on a zero waste model. तभी तो आपको वो दो रुपए का पैकेट दे सकता है. अगर वो एडवर्टाइजमेंट में पैसा खर्च करने लगेगा तो इट कैन नॉट फुलफिल दैट, इट कैन नॉट लिंक विद दैट आइडेंटिटी एंड पोजिशनिंग ना। अब आप कोक और पेप्सी ले लो, पेप्सी और कोक में होता क्या है? पानी, कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड, थोड़े से केमिकल्स, केमिकल्स, फ्लेवर्स भी नहीं, केमिकल्स विच क्रिएट फ्लेवर्स। 2 रुपए का माल नहीं है और आपको वो 10 रुपए में बेचता है। क्यों? वेयर डज दैट 8 रुपी गो? Advertise. Why is it necessary? Because if Coke and Pepsi are not advertised, will you consume sugary soft drinks if they are not advertised? But पार्ले जी आप स्टिल कंज्यूम कर लो क्योंकि आपको वो ब्रांड पता है। अमूल, मदर डेयरी रेयरली ऐड करते हैं ऐसे अपने प्रोडक्ट के बारे में। दे कीप टॉकिंग अबाउट देयर प्रोडक्ट दैट दे एग्जिस्ट इन द मार्केट एंड ऑल, बट दे रेयरली टॉक अबाउट प्रोडक्ट फीचर्स क्योंकि सबको पता है अमूल और मदर डेयरी इज अ गुड क्वालिटी प्रोडक्ट एंड यू आर विलिंग टू पे अ प्राइस फॉर इट। They need to advertise just to stay relevant. Coke and Pepsi need to advertise to encourage you to purchase. Cadbury's की ad देखना कभी. It's always very seductive. It's always in a way consuming chocolate is good. Obviously it's not. मेरा हाल देख के लगी रहा it's not good. मैंने बहुत सारी करी हुई है. But the point is that the message advertising is also linked again to positioning and eventually with branding, which is where comes the key point of advertising, the key decision making factor, the brand ambassador. जो हम thumbs up में भी बात कर रहे थे, शाहरुख खान, सलमान खान, and the identity of the product, the brand ambassador, the style of the advertisement that is being created is very important when it comes to the linkage to advertising. Because advertising is helping to reinforce your brand identity. And in today's world, there are two new methods of advertising which are different from the traditional one. One is word of mouth या reviews. जब आप लोग Amazon पे कुछ खरीदते हो and you are hunting for a new product, I personally do. If I am hunting for a new product which I want, मैं product features बाद में देखूंगा, मैं सबसे पहले reviews देखता हूँ. When I'm booking a hotel, reviews are the most important thing that I will check. So that's word of mouth advertising. So lots of positive reviews will mean कि something right is happening. हाँ, एक रिव्यू जरूर होता है होटल में, कभी भी करना, ट्रिप एडवाइजर पे जाना या मेक माई ट्रिप पे जाना, एक रिव्यू जरूर बोलेगा खाने में कॉकरोच था, बट दैट विल बी ओनली वन रिव्यू. वी आल्सो नो दैट यू, आप उसको फ्रस्ट्रेशन कह लो, इट कुड आल्सो बी अ कॉम्पिटिटर, व्हिच इज व्हाई अमेज़न सेज उसके नीचे लिखा आता है वेरीफाइड परचेजर. मतलब अदरवाइज टॉम डिक एंड हैरी कैन गिव अ कमेंट, दे डोंट, बिकॉज यू वांट quality. Why are we filtering? Because in today's world, social media marketing is the most important tool for any business, whether it is Parle-G or whether it is an iPhone. सबको social media marketing की जरूरत है at this stage. That's the new thing, word of mouth. And second is social media marketing itself, non-traditional targeted advertising. Social media अब आप लोग करना है, ट्राई करना, मेरे साथ हो चुका है, that's why I'm saying try it. Those of you who've got an Android phone, majority do, take an Android phone और इस फोन में क्रोम में जाके search for a hotel room, pick a destination, go on to Make My Trip or TripAdvisor, pick a destination. I tried doing that. My example is 2018 Bangkok. मैंने एक बारी गलती से क्रोम में डाल दिया कि मुझे बैंकॉक जाने का मन है. For the next 6 months, every single ad on my phone, बैंकॉक भेज के रहेंगे मुझे. Because that is where the targeted advertisement part comes in. और ये कभी आप ध्यान से ट्राई भी करना है किसको. ओपन अ क्रोम ब्राउजर, क्रोम खोलना, क्रोम ही खोलना, क्रोम या फायरफॉक्स, क्रोम बेटर है, क्रोम खोलना, उसमें हंट फॉर अ होटल रूम, स्पेसिफिक लोकेशन, स्पेसिफिक प्रॉपर्टी, स्पेसिफिक रूम टाइप, यू विल गेट प्राइस एक्स. ठीक है, वो प्राइस एक जगह नोट कर लेना, बंद कर दो उसको. 3 दिन बाद दोबारा खोलना उसको, वो एक्स प्लस समथिंग हो चुका होगा, फिर बंद कर देना, फिर 3 दिन बाद दोबारा खोलना, इट विल बी एक्स प्लस वाई. व्हाट आर दे ट्राइंग टू डू? एक वो क्रिएटिंग, लास्ट 1 रूम लेफ्ट, लास्ट 2 रूम लेफ्ट, बुक नाउ टू लॉक दिस प्राइस. दैट इज व्हाट advertising does. It is advertising's job is to translate, first of all, create a desire to purchase, And the second thing that advertiser has to do is to turn that desire into purchase into an actual purchase, which is where targeted advertisement comes in. Because if I look at a TV ad, or I look at a, let's say outside you go, there's a notice board, there's a billboard advertising product X. Okay? May or may not be suiting you. What happens with the traditional advertisement method is there's this thing called wasted eyeballs. So let's say मैंने रिंग रोड पे एक बोर्ड लगा दिया बाय एन आईफोन, और वो बोर्ड मैंने लगा दिया जीटीबी नगर पे. रिंग रोड तो रिंग रोड ही है, मैंने जीटीबी नगर पे लगा दिया. How many people are passing through GTB Nagar who are willing and able to buy a 70,000-80,000 rupee iPhone? But if I put that same board, even if I put that same board outside GK2, the problem will still remain that there are wasted eyeballs. Wasted eyeballs means the number of people who are looking at my advertisement but are not translating into buyers. वो waste है मेरे लिए ना. Which is why social media marketing works so much. आप गए, आप सोच के गए हो मुझे बैंकॉक जाना है, अगर मुझे अच्छा प्राइस मिलेगा तो मैं चला जाऊंगा. That first hurdle has already been crossed. And by targeting, so let's say, now who would typically want to go to Bangkok? March, young adults, end of semester, spring break, Goa, Thailand, these kind of things. Target. They are the targets. Whereas if I am targeted as a customer, मेरे को advertisement आएगी क्लब महिंद्रा और स्टर्लिंग की. Because Amazon also knows, Amazon सब जानता है कि मेरे पास बच्चे हैं. और उसने मेरे से डे वन पूछ लिया क्योंकि उसने मेरे से डेट ऑफ बर्थ लेके मुझे Amazon फैमिली में डाल के 10% डिस्काउंट दे दिया. सो मैंने भी डेट ऑफ बर्थ डाल दी. Because I am incentivized to share personal data. The moment my second son was born, जिस दिन पैदा उसके अगले दिन मैंने डायपर्स ऑर्डर किया Amazon पे और मैंने उसका डेट ऑफ बर्थ डाल दिया और मुझे 10% डिस्काउंट मिल गया. Why am I willing to share that data? Because I am incentivized. Perfect. Targeting. So now Amazon knows कि Tushar has a son who is an infant. अब लाइन से आ रही एड्स, बेबी हग, मामा अर्थ, लाइन से आ रही है इनकी एड्स. Why? Because typically speaking, a person within will need only two things: diapers and wipes. और कुछ नहीं चाहिए मुझे लाइफ में, सिर्फ diapers and wipes चाहिए. End of story. Are you getting the logic that I'm trying to put across? That's where the targeting part comes. And then they realize, अच्छा यार, इसके पास गाड़ी है, so let's advertise a car seat. क्योंकि इसको बच्चे को लेके कार में भी ट्रैवल करना है. Let's advertise a diaper bag. Let's advertise that sticker which says baby on board. Are you getting my point? That's where the targeting part comes. Then once they predicted my age, बच्चा अब 6 महीने का हो जाएगा, he'll start holding things. फिर एडवर्टाइजमेंट आनी शुरू हो जाएगी. मेरे पहले बेटे के साथ हुआ था, आनी शुरू हो जाएगी टॉयज. भर जाएंगी एड्स धीरे धीरे करके. इट विल स्टार्ट शोइंग Amazon पे स्पेशली, दे स्टार्ट शोइंग मी रेलेवेंट एड्स. और वो रेलेवेंट एड में आएगा, वॉकर की एड आएगी, बिग वाले ब्लॉक्स की एड, लेगो की एड नहीं आएगी, बड़े वाले ब्लॉक्स की एड आएगी, अल्फाबेट्स की एड आएगी. क्योंकि उसको पता है 1 साल 2 साल के बच्चे के पेरेंट को यही चीजें चाहिए. Which is different from what I would get if my son is 10-11 years old. वहां पे they'll start advertising Lego. And couple of years later they'll start advertising video games. Because that's where the targeting part comes in. And this is where comes the part जो एक topic है आपका computer analysis, marketing intelligence and STP. Segmentation के लिए क्या चाहिए मुझे? Data. Targeting के लिए क्या चाहिए मुझे? Relevant data. Which is why everybody आजकल says make my trip ये करता है, log in now to get 500 rupees extra. क्यों? क्योंकि the moment I have logged in, उसने मेरा data capture कर लिया. And the moment they capture my data, they can start targeting me. And you can do that. Try it. It's my tip and trick. Make my trip वाले तो नहीं देख रहे ना. Tip and trick. You always use private browsing mode. या Chrome में incognito या Safari में private browsing. और फिर टिकट बुक करना, चाहे होटल हो चाहे एयरलाइन हो, कहीं पे भी हो, जहां पे यू गेट द डायनामिक प्राइसिंग. डोंट बुक विद द नॉर्मल क्रोम. दे विल कैप्चर द डेटा और वो फिर आपके हर जगह आपके एडवर्टाइजमेंट में स्प्रेड हो जाएगा. यूज दैट. आई हैव हैड अ गुड एक्सपीरियंस यूजिंग प्राइवेट ब्राउजिंग डिपेंडिंग ऑन यू. एंड अगेन That's where the targeting part comes. If I deny them the data, they cannot target me. In that sense, I'm not being paranoid or anything. I'm just being practical. कि मेरे को डिस्काउंट मिल जाता है because every time I log in, I'm a new customer for the software. Think of I'm trying to fool the software. I'm a new customer. Every time I log in, I'm a new customer. मुझे new rate दे रहा है. जिस दिन मुझे book करना है, मैं book कर लूँगा. But when I have logged in, it sees me as a repeat customer. मैं test कर रहा हूँ जाके बार बार. अब उसका दो चीजें हो सकती हैं. It can be two ways. One is they can suddenly reduce the rates and say special offer, or they can slowly keep on increasing rates. And when they figure out कि इसने airline ticket book कर ली, the moment you get a mail in your Gmail कि आपने airline ticket book कर लिया है, उसके बाद hotel room Chrome में मत book करना, वो पकड़ लेगा data, and then they will price it accordingly. Targeting, nothing wrong. I'm not doing that any of that. वो conspiracy theory वाला part नहीं कह रहा. This is marketing reality, and advertisement runs on data, quality data, because it is essential, not just important. It is essential for marketing efforts and advertising. And it leads on to our next topic, which is integrated marketing communication. Multiple channels, multiple brands, multiple products, multiple SKUs. All of them have to give the same message. Otherwise, there will be confusion in the minds of the customer, and that confusion will lead to dilution of my brand identity. Right? That's the only thing for integrated marketing communication. Then we have for marketing of services, कोई बहुत differential नहीं है, आप लोग पढ़ सकते हैं इसको. रूरल में भी कोई बहुत different नहीं है. न्यू ट्रेंड में सोशल मीडिया we have covered. ठीक. So this covers the learning part from my side. Now, those of you who have my number, you guys can WhatsApp me. I will share the notes. You can distribute on your own WhatsApp group. ठीक है. And कोई doubts हो तो आप लोग मुझे touch base कर सकते हैं. ठीक है. And thank you and best of luck for your exam.